Howdy. I've recently had a critic explain to me that Freemasonry is a criminal organization. He accuses Freemasonry of bad behavior, of criminality. So let's explore some of the teachings out of the Scottish Rite Ritual Monitor and Guide by Arturo de Hoyos. In the fourth degree in the Scottish Rite, we are taught that on page 177, the fourth degree teaches of duty of your mission as a Mason to serve your fellows, your country, and mankind, and of the 9 great Masonic virtues built upon the 3 great pillars of wisdom, strength, and beauty. These 9 virtues are truthfulness, endurance, independence, justice, mercy, equity, silence, devotion, and attainment. So if it's a crime to serve your fellows, your country, and mankind, and if it's a crime to emulate the virtues of truthfulness, endurance, independence, devotion, attainment, mercy, equity, etc., then Freemasonry is a criminal organization. Further in the guide, in the 5th degree, on page 191, we read, "Always be encouraged towards self-sacrifice in the case of duty, or as honor shall require it. The most excellent rewards of human virtue are the approbation of good men. You are reminded to do that which is right, because it is right." So if it's a crime to do that which is right because it is right, then Freemasonry is a criminal organization. Further on page 207, De Hoyos notes, "In the 6th degree, you will be taught the excellence of disinterestedness and generosity, that it is the duty of every true Mason to heal dissensions and differences, and to restore peace, concord, and harmony among men. You are taught the necessity of good faith, fidelity, self-sacrifice, and generosity. You are shown the value of self-control, of never rushing to judgment, and the nature of true friendship. Zeal for service is encouraged, reminding us to be zealous in our services to God." So if it's a crime to be taught to be good, faithful, have fidelity, self-sacrifice, and generosity, then Freemasonry is a criminal organization, because that is what they teach us as Freemasons to do, to be, to think like, and to perform. On page 217, we read in the 7th degree, "This degree teaches you to be just, without which no man is fit for freedom. Above all else, the degree teaches reverence and administration of the law with justice, equity, and impartiality. It also teaches that an independent and upright executive branch of government is indispensable to freedom and equality of rights." So if it's criminal to be just, equitable, and impartial with the law, and to deal justly with one another, then Freemasonry is absolutely a criminal organization, because that is what they teach us. Furthermore, in the 8th degree, we read on page 229, "The reward of diligent work is advancement. Dignity and importance are attached to work and those who perform it. You are taught the rights of the laboring classes and your duties toward them. It is especially impressed upon you that every laboring man is your brother, entitled to your regard and assistance. When dealing with those with whom you work, always practice the rules of benevolence and charity. Never deal harshly with those in your employ or those with whom you labor. You will not make false, unjust, or unreasonable claims against them. Aid him and his family, recognizing all mankind as your brothers. If it's a crime to deal never harshly with those you work with, if it's a crime to aid your brother and give him assistance, if it's a crime to recognize all mankind as your brothers and to assist them and their families, then Freemasonry is a criminal organization, because that is what we are taught. Furthermore, on page 257, De Hoyos notes, we are taught to deal fairly with all men and see that none are subjected to extortion or the unjust imposition of burdens. So if it is a crime to deal equitably with all men and make sure that none are given unjust or unfair burdens, then Freemasonry is a criminal organization, because that is precisely what we are taught to do with our fellow men, with their families, in our country, in our cities and communities, and in our homes. The actual charge that Freemasonry is a criminal organization is absolutely asinine. It's obviously said with very little mental acumen behind it. It is a complete ignorant argument, baseless in its assertion, and intellectually devoid of any kind of good content or powerful evidence. All of the teachings of Freemasonry that I have, and I have hundreds, and I'm building it to thousands of sources. I have access to thousands of sources, and as I have time, I'm looking into them. Nothing in Freemasonry teaches anything that is criminal. You critics who love to make false accusations, who love to bear false witness against your neighbors, we Freemasons, might want to think that through, because your bearing false witness is criminal, both spiritually and legally. If you can't back your claims, you might be facing libel. Have you ever thought that through? I seriously doubt it. As stupid of an argument as you bring forward, it wouldn't surprise me if your mouth is working way faster than your brain can. So I have some advice for you, and I have a challenge. Anything I've read in this video, from Arturo de Hoyos' excellent Monitor and Guide of the Scottish Rite Ritual, if you can demonstrate to me with the evidence, using any kind of documentation you can find, that these types of attitudes, this particular kind of philosophy on how to deal with ourselves, with our human brothers, with our families, with our country, and with our state, upholding the laws, dealing justly with men, if you can show me that this is actually criminal, I will quit Freemasonry, and I will come and join you in your ridiculously stupid crusade of absolute ignorance. But you gotta prove it. Simply because you say so isn't worth spit to me. Show me the evidence.